Yeah, good morning. Okay, so today we'll see how to load the data from flat files or CSV files into the destination like OLDB. Okay, so flat files already we have seen if you see the notepad. Okay, so this is the file, so which will be called as a notepad, text file. Okay, but again in this there are so many variations actually. Okay, in the same file, we will store the data in a different ways. Okay, formats. I can show you how it will be. Okay, and there is something called a CSV file as well. It is also basically like a text file, but actually it looks like your Excel file. But CSV means comma separated value. Let me put it over here. Okay, so CSV means comma separated value. Okay, and in TXT file, so we have sorry, TXT text file. Okay, this is also called as flat file. Okay, so in this, how the data looks like means, so each and every column, okay, each and every column or value, anything you can take. So everything will be separated with either slash, okay, or you can also consider colon, or sometimes it will be separated with the semicolon, and sometimes it will be there is something called pipe delimiter. So this is the one. Okay, so these are all called as delimiters, nothing but which will be separated. Okay, each and every column or each and every value. Okay, so any separator we can get in the flat files. Okay, sometimes we'll get comma, or comma means it is comma separated value file. Okay, and sometimes we'll get the slashes or semicolon, colons, or pipe delimiters. Anything we can get, but still we can able to read the data. Okay, now let me show you how this CSV file looks like. Hmm. And this is the Excel file, right? So I'll just go and convert this data. So I'll just go and save it first. And yeah, so can you see the save type is Excel 97 2003 workbook, so that it will save it in Excel format. But there is again something called CSV file. Okay, can you see CSV? Okay, comma delimiter. Okay, delimiter ante so which will be separated each and every column and each and every value. Okay, so you can just select it and save. Let's go to sources. So this is the IFSC course, right? So now you can just go and see the types. This is the Excel one, this is the comma separated file. Now you can see, maybe I'll just copy both the files into desktop so that you can see the icons a little bit bigger. Yeah. Can you see? Both looks like Excel only, correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, I
yeah.
know.
Both looks like Excel only. And sometimes people will open this comma separated value in terms of Excel. Let me close everything. Yeah. I'm just opening this. Yeah. Now you can see it looks like Excel only. There is no difference. Correct. So actually you should not open the comma separated value, like an Excel. Okay. So you can see the difference. See here it is a comma. Okay. But here it is as, okay, some dotted lines are there. Okay. So by seeing the icons itself, we can able to understand which is an Excel file, which is a CSV file. Okay. Now how do you need to open this means either you can open notepad or notepad plus plus, anything is fine. I do have a notepad plus plus. Okay, let me yeah, can you see every column and every value is separated with comma, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And also you can also observe one more thing. See, there is a address, guys. Here there is address, and in address generally we do have a commas, right? The door numbers and the pin codes, correct? So now when you put commas over here, what your SSIS will understand is, so it will consider this is one column, this is another column, something like this. Okay, but actually what this complete information is basically belongs to an address, correct? That's the reason automatic what it has been done is, so it has been taken it as a double quote for both for the complete string. Okay, then after it has been put it as a comma, understand? And these double quotes is not there for any other columns. Correct, only for specifically for your address column, because your address contains more commas, whereas we know that it is a single keyword, okay, single sentence. Okay, so that's the reason it has been mentioned as a double quotes. Okay, so this also we can this is called as text qualifier. Okay, so whatever it has been covered, right, this complete word, okay, this is called as text qualifier, guys. Let me write it over here. So any text, if it is mentioned with the double quotes or single quote, it is called as text qualifier. And any column or a value which is separated, okay, so that is called as delimiter. Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts you can ask? No?
No, Vinod.
Okay, fine. So let's see how we can able to, write the data.
Bro, while converting this to CSV, there were two more CSVs.
There are?
There were two more CSVs, that is CSV
Ah,
Macintosh something.
yeah, let me just open. So you're talking about these CSVs, right? MS DOS.
Yes.
So these are not belongs to us actually. So these are all belongs to some other languages. Okay. So you can choose only this. This is the original CSV file. Okay. Next, I forgot to tell one more thing. So here one more delimiter will be there. Apart from this four, there is something called tab delimiter. Tab delimiter means, so we have a tab space, no? When you click a tab, when you specify a tab, so there will be a space between two keywords, right? So for an example, if I put a one tab space B, okay, so now you see this space is called as a tab, correct? So sometimes they might mention these values with a tab, one tab space delimiter also. Okay, so we'll see the examples one by one anyway. So I have chosen the IFSC course, right? Let's dump this data. Okay, let me open once again. Okay, so can you see what are the data types which we have in this?
Mostly worker only.
Mostly varchar, and when you go to the phone, then
Big into we can keep as big.
so phone here it is having zeros, correct?
This is
Most of the cases, so it's zero only. Okay, so nothing but I can consider as an integer, correct? Yes. Okay. Let's go and read this file, CSV file. Okay. Yeah. So what is the first step we need to do?
Create source.
Build a connection. Create
Yeah, we
data
need to
flow
build a
connection.
source connection and then source destination connection.
Destination connection.
So okay, sorry. Right click, new file connection or new connection. Okay. So as it is a CSV file now, so it is also a flat file actually, but the only thing is delimiter is different, correct? So go with flat file, guys. So for all these things, for CSV file or flat files, the source connection which you need to take is flat file connection. Do remember it. For Excel it is different, for flat file it is different. So click on add. Yeah, now it is asking. Okay, so the connection manager name, I'll make it a source connection. Then they are asking us to browse the file where exactly it will be. So go to the particular SSIS. No. Okay, so when I go to sources, right, I'm unable to see anything. Why? Because see, there is a filtration, like it is asking to select the .txt file, but actually ours is CSV, correct? So either go for all files or go for CSV files. Now you can see that. Yeah. So select that. Yeah. So there are so many options has been enabled. Okay. Now you can see there is something called local A, and which is a English language. So what it has been done is, so it looks into that particular Excel file, and what is the language it will automatically find, and it will choose it, guys. Okay. So you can see all the languages here, whatever you have. Okay, so sometimes you may need to work with different clients, so wherein the languages might be Italy or any other French languages and all, so still you need to read that data as well. So in such a case, right, it may identify the language. So if not, you need to go and manually select that language. Okay, and for every language there is a code page. There is a code page. So generally, 100% will work on the English language only, don't worry. Okay, and the default code page for English language is 1252. Very important interview question it is. Okay, the default code page in SSIS is 1252 because it is a English language. Okay, now you can see for every language there is a code. Okay, so you don't need to remember everything. So just remember what is the code page for English language. That is 1252. Yeah, and so you can just ignore this all the options. Okay, so out of we need to remember only one thing. So these options we'll discuss it after some time. Yeah, now there is a one more option called column names in the first data row. Okay, so you can just look at that file and see whether we do have a columns there or not in the first row. Yes, we do have a columns, right? So that's what it is asking. If you have a columns, tell me, so that I'll choose those columns. If not, it will choose it as a field 1, field 2, like that. Okay, F1, F0, F1, F2, something like that. Okay, so as there is a columns, I'm just checking the columns names in the first data row. Okay, now immediately I'll go to columns, guys. Next option. Okay, can you see? So we'll discuss about row delimiter. Now I'm talking about column delimiter. Column delimiter is nothing but, so each and every column and each and every value is separated with what? Comma, right? Automatically it has been chosen. And what else we have means, see, we have a semicolon, colon, and tab delimiter, vertical bar. Okay, so whatever I said here, so everything has been mentioned over there. Okay, see, all the options are available. Okay, maybe slash is not there. Okay, but remaining semicolon, colon, comma, tab delimiter, vertical, everything is available here. Okay, so sometimes it automatically choose based upon the data. Sometimes we need to manually go and choose. Okay, now when you go to this address, can you see what is happening? So in address, so okay, so it has been splitted actually, correct? Hello. Yeah. So what exactly happened over here is, let me just open this. Yeah, what it will do is, first for first column it will take this first value till first comma, then second value, then third value, then when it goes to here, so it will consider this entire thing as it should consider this entire thing as a one column value, but as there is a comma here, what it will do, till here only it will consider one column. So does it correct actually?
No.
No, right? So the complete information is belongs to an address. So what we need to do is, okay, so we need to remove this quotes, guys. First of all, we need to remove these quotes. Okay. Then only it can able to select the complete information. Okay. Otherwise, we need to specify something that text qualifier is, this double quotes, so that the SSIS can able to read the complete information, as a one column which is within the quotes. Okay. So to do that, what you need to do, go back to general again. Okay. There is something called text qualifier. So as of now, it is none. So, but as there is a double quotes, you just mention only one time. No need to mention multiple times. But if at all there is a text qualifier, mention only one time. If it is a double quotes, mention double quotes. If it is single quote, mention single quote. Okay. And go to columns. Now you can see the complete address is specified in address column. Understand? Okay. So sometimes we may get these double quotes in single column. Sometimes we may get in all the columns also. Okay. Now still you can mention double quotes over here. Automatically it will get removed. Okay. The double quotes, as well as between the double quotes, whatever information is there. So that will come under a single column. Are you clear, everyone? Okay. Now there is a row delimiter, okay, which is CR and LF. So what is meant by this? Means CR means carriage return, LF means lineage forward. Okay, now so what is the usage of these two? Means CR means, okay, the CR will help to SSIS saying that, okay, so after each and every keyword, okay, so it has to go to the next value, right, after comma. Okay, so that CR will help to SSIS saying that, okay, so after comma you go and select the next value, after next comma you go and select the next value. Okay, to so in this purpose, okay, this CR will help to SSIS. Okay, so in a summary level, if you want me to tell, okay, so it will help to find out the next value, okay, after each and every comma, semicolon, whatever it is. Okay, when it comes to the LF, now it will find out each and every value, and it will it will go to the last value. Okay, now once this is finished, where exactly it has to go? It read the complete column, first row. Okay, then where exactly it has to go?
Next row.
Second row.
Yeah, it has to go to the next row, right? Okay, to go to the next row, your LF will be helpful. Okay, it will help to go to next row. Okay, this is the advantage, these are the properties of the CR and LF, carriage return and lineage forward. This will help to find out the next value based upon the delimiter. Okay, and it will help us to go to the next row, guys. Okay, so that much information is enough. Okay, not more than that. And it automatically chosen, you no need to worry. Yeah, now this is fine, right? All the columns has been set. Now go to advanced. Yes, so in the advanced, okay, so yesterday I said that how in Excel the data will be get selected. I mean data types.
Based on source of file.
Based upon the
Source file.
based upon source file only, but I mentioned one point, right? How it will choose the data types? Based on what?
Based on future.
Future values.
Yes, future data. Correct, based upon the future data. Okay, but in case of flat files, any delimiter it is. Okay, any delimiter it is. Okay, comma, semicolon, anything. So whatever data types it is in the Excel flat files, okay, it can be floats, it can be date, datetime, or any data type case. Okay, but still a flat file will consider it as a varchar data type. Every column it will consider as a varchar. You can see anyway, these are all characters. Okay, so you can see it is as a string. But what about the phone number? What data type it is actually?
Begin.
Yeah, integer or big int. So according to our file, it is an integer because there is a zeros. But if you go and check the phone number data type, so still it is a string. That's what I said. Whichever data types it has been stored in the file in a flat files or CSV files. Okay, so the default data type will be string only. Okay, it will read as a string only. Later on, what you need to do, according to your destination table, you need to go and change it. Clear? Using data conversion. Are you clear, everyone? So your Excel will read the data types based upon the future data, whereas in the flat files, it will read any column data, any column values as a string data type. I mean, varchar data type always. So later on, we need to go and change it. Are you clear? Any doubts?
Yes, madam.
For the row, for row delimiter, is there any other option than CRLF now?
Always we need to see there are options, but always we should select CR and LF only. Okay, now that is the default behavior. There are so many which even I am not worked any of these things. Okay. Yeah, and one more thing, the another advantage over here is in the flat file level. So if you want to convert anything, any data types, we can choose the data conversion, right? But in the while configuring the source connection itself, we can change the data types automatically without using data conversion. Okay, so how to do that I can show you. See, anyway, all these things are varchars only, so I cannot do any changes for this, correct? These are all anyways varchars, so no, I cannot change this. Yes, when you go to phone number, so what is the data type? It should be int. That should be in SSIS level
4 byte.
4 bytes and integer. Okay, so how do you need to make a change means, see, click on this drop down. Here you have all the whatever you have seen in the data conversion level. So all the available data types which is there in the SSIS can be shown here. Yeah, you can choose whichever you want. Yeah, so you can select the 4 bytes and integer. Now what will happen? No, what will happen in the original column itself, the data types has been changed. Okay, so when you take the data conversion, there will get copy of columns, correct?
Yes.
But here, so we have changed in the main column itself automatically. Okay,
8 bytes pro, otherwise it will throw error.
I think we don't have any phone numbers there, so it is considered as a zeros everywhere when I have seen the phone numbers. Let's see, so everywhere it is 0. Okay, so either you can consider anything. If you have a phone numbers, normal phone numbers, yes, we should definitely go with the 8 bytes and integer. Okay, so you can choose anything. Let me select 8 byte also, no problem. Okay, and in the similar manner, if it is a different data types here, okay, and varchar or unicode or anything, you can choose those data types, guys. Okay, so that in the original column itself, so we have changed the data types. Going forward, we should use the same columns, whatever we are getting from the input file. Clear?
And it means whenever the data is loading into SSIS itself, you change the data type of the phone
Yes,
number.
yes, in the source itself, I have changed it, not in the data conversion level. So this option is available in this Excel level. I mean, flat file level. Okay, but in Excel, we don't have that option, no advanced option.
We need to load the data, then we need to change the copy of that, right? But
Correct.
here,
We need to read the data into Excel source first. Then after that, we need to take the data conversion to change the data types. But here, while coming to the source, while going to the source itself, we can change the data types.
Bro, it's showing like output column with 50, right? It means a varchar of 50 or what?
Yes, correct. This length, if you want, you can increase. Okay. So let me make it as 500. For few columns, it is enough. But for address column, I think it's better to go with some 1000. Okay. And for phone number, it is not required anyway. Yes.
So
Yes.
this cannot be done with Excel, right? Only for flat files. With the
Yes.
source only we can do the
Yes,
data
in
type.
Excel source, we don't have that option directly. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Flat files means it can be CSV files, it can be text files.
yes,
Apart from that, sir?
anything you can do that.
Oh, is it? Okay. In
For-
the sense, do we have any other categories for flat files?
Yes.
Only CSV and text. Apart from that, any other files?
No. So see, the text files or flat files both are same. The
Okay,
only
okay.
thing is the delimiters will get differ. That's it.
Will differ. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Even
But
CSV file is also a flat file.
yes,
At the end of the
CSV also is a flat file. This will be separated with commas,
commas.
but whereas these files will be separated with these things.
Delimiters. Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Now the data is looks like this. Okay. Now there is an option in a source in a flat file, guys. One more advantage here. Now, if you want to skip any rows, let's say in the flat file level, okay, or CSV level, first few rows I'm getting nulls. Okay, I want to eliminate it. So here, so first few rows I'm getting some nulls. Okay, so and I don't want those rows, let's say. Yeah, so in such a case, what you can do, so you can skip those rows. See 1 2 3 4, let's say first 5 rows I don't want, and you can just select data rows to skip and refresh. See first 5 rows, see UTIP 000005 till 5, it is get eliminated. Okay, so if at all there is an unwanted data, that too in the top, okay, not in the bottom level. So if it is a middle or a bottom level, we need to write some expressions to eliminate. But if it is a top level, yes, in a flat file level, we have an option to skip the rows. Okay, so I don't want to skip anything. Let's refresh. See, now it started from 1 onwards. Clear?
Bro, yesterday in Adventure Works, I saw like a user-defined data type.
Yeah, don't use that. Don't use that. User defined and row guide, don't use that. Okay, so we haven't discussed about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is basically it will get generated from the front end actually. Okay, they're using some global functions, and they're dumping that data into the table. Okay, don't use that. Yeah, and I'll just click on OK. Now the complete source connection is done. So whatever we did the changes now, so it's only belongs to the source. Okay, now let's configure the OLE DB destination and click on OK. I'll take the same DB SSIS. And what is the task I have to take now?
Data flow.
Data flow task, obviously. Now I'll make it as loading flat file data. Okay, so now see, either you can take the flat file source from here. Okay, but again we have another option here. See, there are two favorites. like source and destination assistant. Okay, so when you drag and drop the source assistant, we have an option to directly select the flat file, Excel source, SQL sources and all. When you go to flat file, see whatever source connection we have created, so it will automatically get selected and click on OK. Okay, so now if you observe one thing, when I'm configuring the Excel, so it has been showing cross symbol, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Why it is showing the cross symbol for Excel? Why
We
not
have
for the flat file?
Data types.
No,
configuration.
no.
Because of the data types, whatever is there in the source and destination
Configuration.
different.
Because of source and source connection and that file.
Okay, next.
Already
in
we have changed data type. We have.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is, in a Excel level, we do have a sheets, correct? Hello.
Yeah. Bro.
So,
Yeah.
so in a Excel level, we do have a sheets, correct? So now
Yes,
what we will do is, in such a case, it will show you the cross symbol until unless you go and select the sheet, because there can be a number of sheets, correct? So now the thing is, in the flat file, do you have anything like sheets? No, right?
No.
So that's where it is not showing any cross symbol, which means you don't need to configure it actually. Yeah, but still you can open and you can uncheck the columns, whatever you don't want. Understand?
Bro, when it comes to Excel, sheets will be there, no? Means
Mhm.
it will transfer the data and it will convert as a comma separated or something like that, or what?
See, some
One step.
actually I have converted from Excel to CSV now, but maybe they do have some third-party tools to convert their data into CSVs.
Okay, bro. Means will it change the data to flat file? Then it will read a flat file into like that, or what?
Sorry.
ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఇక్కడ షీట్స్లో ఉంది. షీట్స్ నుంచి అది సెకండ్ స్టేజ్ అంటే అది చేంజెస్ చేస్తుంది కదా,
Mm.
ఈ ఫ్లాట్ ఫైల్‌లా కన్వర్ట్ చేసి తర్వాత ఇలా తీసుకుంటదా? లేదంటే ఎలా చేస్తది? డైరెక్ట్ షీట్ ఇంకనే కన్వర్షన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతదా?
See, ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఎప్పుడు జరగదు యాక్చువల్గా. ఓకేనా? సో మనం we have to convert it manually. Okay, so see, I have taken an example of CSV file by converting from Excel to CSV, but in real time and all, usually the client will give us the data, right? Files. So I really don't know like how they'll convert, or they'll use any other third party tools. I'm not very sure.
ఓకే.
Yeah, understand?
బ్రో.
Yeah. So now here we have an option to open and uncheck the columns, whichever we don't want. Okay, apart from that, it's usually not required to open and do any configurations for flat files. And do I also need to take the data conversion here, or it is not required?
Not required.
Not
Not
required.
Not required. So because already we did it in the source itself. Okay, now you go to the destination assistant. Now, okay, in the SQL Server connection, it is not showing here. Okay, because already we build a connection. So the thing is, maybe there is a bug in the SSIS level, because already we build, right? It has to show. Okay, so if it is not showing, then you can obviously go to the destinations and choose the OLE DB destination from the available options. So just connect to this and double click on it. Now you can choose. Okay, so still we haven't created any table. No, click on new. So see, automatically it has been created based upon the data type whatever you have selected. Yes, and then I'll make it as table_fsc. and click on OK. Go to mappings. See, it automatically chosen the columns because mappings has been done automatically. Because why?
Names are same.
Because there is
Because
no
the
any
column
copy.
names are exactly same between both. Correct? That's the reason. Okay. So now let's click on OK. See, that has been done. I'll just save it and start. Let's see. Done. So there are 1,000 rows has been dumped into the final table. So let's open this. Okay, can you see the data? Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now this is how we can read the data, the flat file, data into the table. And yeah, let me show you one more thing. So for an example, there are some issues. Okay, there are some issues in the table in the flat file source, and I just want to show that errors to my client actually. Okay. So now we need to go and do some changes so that we can create some errors. Yeah.
Yes.
So what we need to do is, let me just so let's go to flat file. So what I will do now, so here I'll add this values, guys. Why it's not coming?
Due to unique code.
I think Visual Studio is still accessing.
But just stop the debugging, no?
Change language.
Okay, let's see. So I had put some cap symbol. Let's see how it will gonna read. And also we'll do one more thing. Here I'll just put it as some dummy. And here also I'll make it as some dummy. So generally it has to fail, no? Correct?
Yeah, bro.
Yes, sir. Nice.
Yeah. So now let's see what will happen. Yeah. So generally what will happen? So if there is a conversion failed issues, okay. So the file, it will fail completely. Okay, so let's see. I'll just go and start. Okay, so it read the data, but let me just truncate the table and let me show you guys. So without any error, so it still loaded the data, but let me just see. Did we save that file? Okay, got it. So the thing is, I have changed this file, no, but whereas I'm reading the other file, so which is I have saved in the desktop file, but actually I'm reading from here. Okay, that's the reason. I'll just go and paste it over here. Okay, now let's see, and let's do the truncation again. Okay, see, can you see it got failed? Yeah, so where we can see that
In progress.
yeah, so in progress level we can see. So now you can just stop it and go to the execution result set. Now can you see it is saying that there is a data conversion failed, phone number, return status value as 2. So okay, so as there are characters, no, so it is not able to convert that data, so that's why it got failed, correct? But actually, you know that there are few rows which are success, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, there are some success rows are there, some are failure error rows are there. Okay, now in such case, maybe the client is saying that do not fail the complete file, you just give me the error rows, okay, so that I'll go and rectify and re-upload it. Okay, so now how do you capture that error rows? Okay, let me just show you. Okay, so I told you, right, so there is a red color symbol here, okay, which is a error capturing. So where we can, by using this red line, we can able to capture the error rows, guys. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now what you can do, how do you capture means, either you can able to capture that into a different a flat file, or you can able to capture into a table. So wherever you want, you can able to capture. Yeah, so let's take a flat file only as a destination, guys, not a source. Flat file destination I'm just taking. Yeah, and let's connect this red color symbol over here. So you can choose anything, basically, like flat file, OLE DB, Excel, anything you can choose, no problem. Yeah, so now it is asking, see, there is something called column name and error truncation, something like this. Now in whichever column you feel like the error conversion may occur. Okay, so there are three options which we have. One is ignore failure, the second one is fail redirect row, then we have something called fail component. These are called as, let me write here. So generally మనల్ని క్వశ్చన్ ఏమడుగుతారంటే, how do you handle the errors, or error handling అని కూడా అంటారు. Okay, errors in SSIS. Okay, so the answer is using okay, error output, using error output. Okay, so and below are the options. One is ignoring the failures, the other one will be redirect the failures, the Yeah, the next thing is fail component. What is meant by fail component and this ignore failures? Let's just discuss. Okay. So now see fail this is the default behavior of each and every column, guys. Okay. So even it is a conversion failed, truncation means what is meant by truncation? What is meant by truncation?
You mean in means of error or in means of syntax?
No, so not syntax. In SQL Server, we will be getting binary truncation error, right?
Okay. Out of
And
overflow.
Conversion.
and having more length than we given.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
giving
in the source file, I'm getting 100 characters, but whereas I'm mentioning it as a varchar of 50. So that time we'll get the truncation errors. Okay. And the conversion errors, you know, right? So if the data type is different, then this conversion will fail. So the default behavior, the default option for these two things will be fail component. And the meaning entente, if we get any truncation errors or any conversion errors, defaultly it will fail that complete SSIS package. Okay. Next, let's say the client is saying that do not fail it. Maybe there are some success rows. You go and redirect that rows and give it to me. Okay. So that I'll come to know what are the error rows and I'll go and modify it. Yeah. So now where exactly we'll be getting the error rows? Based upon which column?
IFSC and phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, so based upon IFSC code as well as the phone number. But as of now, it is showing phone number level, right? Let's see, maybe IFSC code, it is reading the data because it's considered as a character, but let's check that what exactly. Let me put here on top of the phone number column. Let's say a redirect row, which means it will redirect the error rows into a different column, guys. Understand? Yeah. So now if at all there is a truncation will happen, then that rows also you can able to redirect into a different destinations. That is also there. Yes. And remaining columns I'll make the same. Maybe if there is a failure comes, so I should fail it. And if it is a only phone number column, so if any fail happens, you just go and redirect. Yes. And just apply. Okay, sorry. Redirect row, and here also you need to change it and apply it. Okay. And later it will again come to, you know, the fail component only, no issues. Okay. So click on okay. Yeah. So now you need to configure this flat file destination, because whatever the error rows has been transferred, right? It has to send to any file, no? So what you need to do is you need to configure. So how do you need to configure means double click on it. Okay. So you need to make a new connection for a new flat file. See, it is automatically chosen the source file. So I don't want to save anything in the source file, right? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't want to save any errors into the original file. I want to save it in a new file. Okay. So now what we can do is click on new. Okay. And click on delimited. Okay. I need a delimited file. Yeah. It is asking to select a file where exactly you want to save. Let me just make it as error file. And you can make it a CSV or text file, anything you can choose. I'll go with CSV. Yeah, that's it, guys. You don't need to do any configuration. So click on columns, advanced, and preview. That's it. Don't do any changes and do the mappings. So mappings also you should do. Why? Because from the source we are getting the errors, no? For errors, see, it will automatically choose in some columns like error code, error column, and all. And in the similar manner, in the destination also automatically it will choose the same columns. So the mappings will get done. Okay. So you no need to do any changes. You just need to click on just next, next, next. That's it. And let's see if I execute this. Now earlier it got failed. Now let's see whether the success rows will go into this or not. Okay. let's start it. Yeah, can you see there are two rows which has been sent under error rows, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now let's go and check where is this error file. Yeah, no, this is not the one. Where exactly we have saved it? Okay, let me go and check. See, this is the destination connection. You can click on edit and you can check. Okay, desktop 17th batch SSIS. Okay, there is a source folder now, and there only I have saved it. Can you see the error file? Let me open it in Notepad++. Yeah, can you see? It is exactly giving the information for us. Okay, so wherever the dummy, okay, we are getting, right? So those two rows has been sent into a different destinations. Now I can send this data to my client, no, saying that it has been failed. You go and change it and re-upload the file. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is how we can do the error handlings in SSIS by using ignore failure or by using the redirect rows. Sometimes they may say that if there are ignores, you can just ignore it. Okay, in such a case, what you can do, right? So this error line symbol is there, no? Right click and edit. Okay, sorry. You need to delete it actually. You need to delete and reconfigure it. So how do you need to do means just select it. See here redirect row I have selected. You can just ignore the failure. So when you ignore, what will happen?
It will ignore, it will skip those two rows.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So now it will skip those two rows, guys. Correct? It will skip those two rows, and only the success rows will be send it to the destination. Nobody will skip that actually. Okay, but we do have an option to skip if at all, if there is a client requirement. Generally, we will redirect and we'll send that file into error file into a destination, error file destination. Okay, now yesterday we were discussing about the send mail task, correct? Now in the send mail task, okay, so what I will do, if this is success, I need to send an email. So there we have an option called attachments. So can I attach the error file now? Yes or no?
Yes,
So I can attach a error file to my client, so that automatically it will send and he'll just go and check it and he'll re-upload it. Am I correct?
yes, sir.
Yes. So this is how we can send an email the error files to the client's case. Okay, these are very, very important actually. In the interview and all, they'll ask these questions. Okay, so and what situation you will go and use this send mail task. So we can go and tell like either in success or failure case, or if at all if I need to attach any error files and all, so I'll go and use this send mail task. Okay, now you have, whether you have to use the above or below, you should you should think. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Like the control flow is executing first and data flow is coming next, right? Like error file is creating later, right? So in send mail task, how can we configure the exact file name also? So which file?
See, you can hard code it actually. So whatever the file we have, right? So you can directly hard code, because the error file name is always same, no? So it will go to that path and it will select that. Yeah, and before selecting, so which task will get executed first out of these two?
Loading first.
So your data flow task, correct? So once this is success or failure, okay, once it is success, then only it will go to the next. So before going to the send mail, my destination error file has been created, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that it is available for me to send an email. So that's where the send email task has to come before this. I mean, after this data flow task, not before.
Yes, got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
If there is another row error, if there is error in another row, it will add that row also in the error file, or else it will overwrite that file.
So when you re-execute the file again,
Yes,
correct?
yes, if I re-execute
Okay,
the
let's re-execute that and see. I think we have selected what here.
ignore.
Let's redirect it.
It should add 2 more rows, right, sir?
Yeah, I
No,
think
no.
should add 2 more rows. Let's select. Let's see. It has been overwritten.
Also,
This file has been modified by another program. I think I have opened it. Let's rerun again.
Now there in error output you have selected only one redirect now.
That is fine. Okay, I think it has been overwrite. Let's see if we have an option to not overwriting the data, but just adding, incrementing the data. Let's see. See, there is an option. Overwrite the data in the file. So in this right click and click on edit, there is an option called overwrite the data in the file. So that's why it is overwriting for every execution. Let's say I just unchecked and click on start. So it has to add no now.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, now it is added. Okay, but generally, I'm pretty much sure that the people will override, because why do they require yesterday's error information?
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any chance by we can find exact row number which it is failing on?
No, that is not at all possible. Okay,
Oh.
because it will give us the complete row information, and you can just select a keyword and go and check it. See, there is an address, no? For every person, the address might be different, no? At least this UTIB number. You can just go and check in your original file what row level it is failing. Okay, but it will not tell us the exact row number for us. At least if you have a IDs, no, that will help us.
This is.
hello.
Yes.
Anna, one more error is there in IFSC code instead of English. We taking one more error, Anna.
Okay. Okay, you mean to say this one, the first. Okay, let's check. So in the table level, so we have chosen a different value, no? I mean, Axis Bank, on the bank name, no?
Second column,
Second column, first column.
Second row only, second column.
Let's check. So what I will do, apart from Axis Bank, if there is anything is there or not, I'll just go and check it. Okay. Let me. This one, right? You are talking about. Correct. Okay, I think, see, this anyway, this row has been eliminated, no? Correct. Now I'll add this one to the next row. You understand? See, you mean to say this has to be come as a error. That's what you mean to say. But actually this row has been already eliminated because of this conversion failed. Okay, let's see.
We have included dummy also. So
Where? Yeah, that's what I had put this information in a separate success row and see what will happen. Okay, same 998. So there is no errors, but let's see. So can you see? Even this has been loaded. I think it is able to read. I think if you put some other languages, right, it will actually fail, but I'm unable to keep that. Let's see. Okay, I'll do one more thing. Yeah. So instead of Notepad++, no, let me open this with Notepad. I think there we have an option to keep it. Let's check. Now it is fine. The file contains Unicode format which will be lost if you say this file has equals to keep this Unicode information. Okay. It is able to convert. Let's do one thing. Let's save it and try to read and see what will happen.
Now while saving the file, change the encoding to ANSI to UTF-8. Now it will change.
Let's see. Okay. UTF-8.
UTF-8. Okay.
Okay, now it's fine. Let's see, guys. Still, it is able to read the data, but let's check. See, I'm getting some different information here. Okay, so which is not a correct data, no? So even in this situation, it is converting into a different data and it is loading it, but actually it is wrong. So now what we can do is, let's see if I can put that redirect option on top of the bank name column. Let's see whether it will redirect or not. Apply and let's see. Okay, still only 2 rows has been sent to the final destination. Okay, still I'm not.
No, because same error in the same row, Anna. Error is in the same row.
Sorry?
Error is in the same row, Anna. I think dummy and
No,
bank
it's not
name
in the
has been.
same. I think it's not in the same. So let me just. So it's in a different row.
Okay.
Okay, I have a doubt that. Okay, so maybe no. So as it is converting some other languages into a different thing and it is loading. Okay, so maybe by using this ignore failure or a redirect option, so we cannot able to find, we cannot able to ignore or redirect these rows. So now there is another option actually. So we need to write a manual expression to eliminate these rows, guys. Okay, because it is not able to capture this information, right? Even though it is a the junk data. Okay, so you need to write another expression to eliminate this one. Okay, So I can show you that. But this is fine, right? This error rows, this what is this error line number line? So error line output. Yeah. Any doubts here? You can let me know.
Normally, sir, when we get that errors in any of the rows, so we get in a separate file, right, sir?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we send it to the client, and after they send us the correct data, so we will truncate and we'll again load it, right, sir?
No, will not truncate, because they will not send the complete file. They'll send the only the error in whatever error rows are there, right? They'll correct and re-upload the same that file. Only the 2 rows. So in such a case, truncate is not required, no?
So if we add it again, if we load again only that particular data, then the sequence will be missing, right, sir? Whether if it is a row 2.
See, the sequence will not get missed. Why? Because maybe there might be some number. So in these cases, yes, obviously it will miss. Okay, but if at all there is some kind of indexes are there, so automatically it will get sorts the data in the backend. So let's say there is an index on top of IFSC code. Okay, now there is an error in 9th and 10th row, but I just loaded 1 to 100. Now, when you actually have a clustered index on top of it, it sorts the data in the backend, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, likewise.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, next, any other doubts? Any other doubts?
Sir, now we get an error, right, sir?
Yes.
How to rectify? Can you show me, sir? Like how to reload?
Sorry. So reload this file, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now we'll do one thing. So now whenever they reload, they have to do a few things like, let me open this one. So see, this header has been not transferred to the error file. So what we should we should discuss with them is, let's remove all this. Let's keep it only 2 rows. So initially we should tell them like, whenever you are re-uploading, so keep the header, okay, because the header I cannot able to transfer, and make the changes. Let's say I'll just put 9000. Okay, now the error has been rectified, correct? Now let's keep this error file over there, guys. Also, what you need to do, this error file name should be what?
Same as our source.
Yes, same as the source file, correct? Yes or no? If you keep as it is, what will happen? So your SSIS will expect what name? IFSC codes. Yes, exactly. So even whenever see these error files anyway, we'll keep it in a different folder. Okay, not this like this. Okay, but whenever they're changing and re-uploading, right? So they have to keep the same file name as it is. Otherwise, it's difficult to read it. Yeah. So because it is expecting the same source file name. Let's see if I restart, what will happen.
Error code code
unna. Let's see. No. Anyway, 2 rows has been sent there. 4 rows, huh? Why 4 rows? Let's check it. 900. Let me put it as phone number is not equals to 0. Oh.
In error files, there is another 2 columns.
But why 4 rows? Let me just check.
At single column insert error code.
Oh, sorry. Then it has to
there
be.
is another 2. Yes.
Yeah, they have to remove this, correct, while loading, because they are considering these 2 as two more one or two more rows actually. Okay, so what they will do now, whatever values here, so for a particular columns it will choose it, for the rest of the columns it will choose it as nulls actually. Okay, which should not be the case. Yeah, so the client has to remove this error code and re-upload so that it will load only 2 rows. Are you clear, guys, how to load the error rows again? Hello,
Yes, sir.
any doubts? No, fine.
Sir, you said something like in a flat file or a text file or a Excel file, if the first 5 rows are nulls, at the top of the Excel sheet or a flat file, so the data rows to skip is we should mention 5, right? If the first 5 rows are null on top,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Sure, okay.
So in a flat file, we do have that option. Direct option is there, but in Excel we don't have that direct option. But still, we can able to read it. Okay, but you need to do in a different way.
Even if you read, it will be nulls only, right, sir? If because the first 5 rows are nulls, right?
That's
Even
why.
if you read, no use, right?
Yeah, that's why if it is a nulls, I'm going to ignore it.
Okay. There
By
is an
using
option.
that
Okay.
data row skip option, I can ignore it. But whereas in the Excel level, I do not have that option, ignoring option.
Okay.
But still we can ignore it. So let me just tell you, you can just try. Okay, so what you need to do is go to Excel source. So you can see I'm reading from this sheet, right? Instead of this, what you can do, write an SQL command. Okay, saying that select star from, so from where we need to read from the sheet, no? So you just put that sheet name, let's say orders, and you have to put dollar symbol, guys. And also you need to mention something like this. Okay, let's say, let me open an Excel file. Yeah, so let's say I want to ignore this first 3 rows, let's say. Okay, so now what you need to do is see, can you see there is a columns here, A, B, C, D, something like this. So from wherever you want to read, so you have to mention that A5, correct? The starting is A5. Okay, now till where you need to read, let's say I just need to read till let's see,
A10 1008.
1008. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 1008. Okay, that you have to mention over here, guys. Okay, so here you need to say, I exactly forgot the syntax. Okay, so A5 and then J1008, something like this. Okay, so let me just show you the exact syntax. Okay, likewise. Can you see? This is how you need to read. Orders dollar, correct? The same thing. Orders dollar. Let's say I just need to read from 5, and then here it should be 1008. Okay, you can also preview it. Can you see? It has been read from where? 32 onwards.
32.
So 32 means you can just see. Okay, 32 means, yeah, somewhere here. Even if you ignore few more rows, let's say A8, it is selected from 35, correct?
Yes.
Understand? Yeah, likewise, you can write a SQL query to ignore. Okay, this is very important, guys. Do remember it. Real time lo kaappoina interview lo aduguta untaru ekku. Yeah. So your sheet name, dollar, and then from where to where you need that you have to mention. Clear? Okay. Next, so this is about flat file. Now let's make the changes in the flat file level, saying that this is the, let me take the original file. Yeah. So now what I will do, let's remove it. Now in place of comma, let's make some change, saying that control X, control H. Okay. And in place of this, let me put some pipe. Okay, ఇక్కడ pipe delimiter పెట్టాను చూడండి. Okay, this one you will get it in your keyboard. Okay, you just find it out. Okay, shift and then you need to put some symbol. Okay, replace it. Now you can see everywhere it got replaced. But also you need to remember one thing, in the address also it got replaced. Correct? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Even in the address also it got replaced. Let it be, no problem, because I cannot go and change only for address. Okay, all the commas and all, it's a bit difficult. Let it be, no problem. Yeah. So now let's see how we can able to read the data. It is very easy. Okay, the only thing is, let's say we already built the package. No, the only thing is you need to change the delimiter. Correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
You need to change the delimiter. So the delimiter, you have to change it from the source connection, guys. Right click, edit. Yeah, if you go to columns, right, see, the whole thing will be comes and sits in one particular column. Why? Because okay, so it cannot able to find any commas. Correct? So that's why the complete information has been sent it into one column. So now if you go and change it as a vertical bar, it is a pipe delimiter or it's a vertical bar, guys. Now you just refresh it. Now you can see the data. Correct? Hello?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So now based upon the delimiter, you need to go and select the column delimiter. Okay, and make the changes accordingly. That's it, guys. Nothing else. Okay, and you can execute it. But again, I think you need to place the file there. Okay, anyway, I have placed it already. See, 2 rows has been sent because there is a dummy rows, and the remaining rows has been sent into the file. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to make the change. Okay, in each and every file, this tab delimiter, comma delimiter, all those stuff. Okay, and you can make you can try to read the data. Okay, so if you need a tab delimiter, what you can do, it's very simple. So let's say you can choose any table, guys. You can choose any table, right click and save result set as. Okay, and there is a option called tab. Okay, see, tab delimiter. Choose this type as tab delimited. Let's select this one and some file name, and you open with any notepad plus plus. Can you see there is a tab space between each and every column? Correct? Hello?
No, yes, sir. No.
There is a tab space, okay, between each and every column. In such a case, that the delimiter will be tab, guys. Okay, there is a tab option is there in the source level. You can just check. Where is this tab? Tab delimiter. Clear? And remaining things, anyway, it is easy. You just need to go and do the control H and change it. That's it. But only the tab delimiter, The only thing is for tab delimiter, you can choose any tables data, yeah, and execute it. Now you just select the whole data, and what you can do, right click, save result set as, and see if you need comma separated, you can keep the same. If you need tab delimiter, choose this one. Okay. And these things you can do, okay, from your end by keeping the different delimiters case. If you find any kind of issues, yeah, you can just let me know. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, we use this SSIS and we push load into database and we report it. Sir.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
normally this complete procedure we use for e-commerce data, right, sir? If we are getting
See,
from
not only e-commerce, any data will get it in Excel or CSVs only, because these data entry jobs and all, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, so their main intention is like to store the data in those files, okay, Excels and CSVs or flat files, okay, and then that files will be sent from the customer to us, okay. Not only e-commerce, you take any data. See, now it is most of the things went online, so they're directly pushing into the database, okay. Not into the SQL database. It's not possible to insert directly into SQL database. So what they will do, they do have a software, so where they will go and input some data and all, automatically it will go and saved in some of the databases like MySQL, and sometimes they will load it in the Excels and all. But again, if that data needs to be analyzed, okay, now see, the main purpose of MSB is what? So we need to analyze the data, correct, by using the reports, okay. So whatever data they saved using some softwares and push it into Excels, that Excels will get it. So whichever domain it is fine, okay. So we'll get all kinds of domains data in terms of Excels and CSVs and all. They not only a specific domain. Okay.
Sir, I have one small query.
Mhm.
Because when I was seeing in Naukri for this type of role, sir, for MSBA and SQL, some few times they asked Power BI also with this, sir.
Mhm.
As I have little knowledge on it. So whatever we do here, no, sir, in ETL, that is removing like spaces, like removing the first one rows, or we
Mhm.
can make it as first row as header like that.
Mhm.
That we can do in there also, sir. Not this much.
Mhm.
Few changes we can do, sir. ETL process. But
Mhm.
so people are expecting need to know both SSIS and that also. So how will they use both, sir, both ETL process, as we are doing it in SSIS? Whatever data we get it from Excel or flat file, we are making transformations and making it a correct data, and we push it in database.
Mhm.
And from database we can take it into SSRS, or else we can take it directly to Power BI.
Correct.
So we can make a visualization.
Correct.
But like as we see that for a plain reporting side, we will go for MSBI. But
Mhm.
I don't know what they are expecting, sir. How can we say that yes, I was using this only these three, and for visualization I was using that Power BI.
Yeah, so we can say that whatever project I'm working, it is very having very much limited data, and they don't have that much visualization. See, Power BI is mainly for huge visualization. Okay, you have more graphs, you have so many pie charts, bar charts and all. Correct.
Yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
the visualization is very high actually. Okay.
Yes.
So the country wise, the location wise, date wise, some state wise, likewise. So everything we have available information in the Power BI level. But so what we can say is, so we do not have that much visualization. So and we have very less amount of data in our databases and all. So that's fair. So they're not preferring any Power BIs. Okay. So SSRS is more than enough, and these reports, you can tell them like these reports has been built almost like some 10 years back, because 10 years back we do not have Power BI, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, even though if so I really don't know when exactly it has been published. Okay.
5 years.
5 years back, huh? Okay, so you can
All,
say like that time they, so the SSRS is pretty much help for the clients to see the visual, to see the data. So that's where they have preferred SSRS. Now also, we do not have that much visualization, so we are still continuing with the SSRS reports only. Okay, see, it is not something like so if there is a new product comes, so the people will go and convert from the existing ones to the new ones, because it's not that much easy. Okay.
Sir, for example, if any one of the client or one of the company using this processor, that is SSIS, SQL, SSRS, this for reporting process. So if suddenly if a client says to move to some other like process, like instead of SSRS, go for Power BI or Tableau, something like that, then how many months or years it will take, sir?
So if it is a existing project, and maybe it again depends. So it has been built, let's say it's a new project. You build it since from last 1 month, and they find a other solution in Power BI, let's say, okay, and they want to convert into that. So now it's 1 month only, right? So we can able to push within very less span of time. But if it is an existing project which is running from almost like 10 years, and that data I have to push it into the Power BI level and all, then obviously it will take a longer period. I cannot commit like 6 months or 1 month, so definitely it's kind of a longer period. So which is called it as a migration projects. So we are migrating from one to another.
So, sir, we have created SSIS separate database, right, sir, in SQL Server
Yes,
to push it from here to there.
correct.
For purely reporting, that means that, for example, Flipkart, Amazon, or some other e-commerce websites or B2B commerce sites, there the data we keep it for some time and later we will drop it, or how do that things happen, sir, there?
Can you come again?
Yes, sir. For example, I am working for a Flipkart, so I'll get thousands of data daily, and I need to do reporting as a part of my job.
Correct.
So I'll be loading from SSIS to one of the SQL Server database. From there, I used to do reporting. So so today, tomorrow, and like this in the 1 month, I have 1 month separate data I have in my separate database called SSIS, sir, in SQL Server. So how I need to keep, whether I should keep it a copy of that in whether I should take a backup and keep it somewhere else, how this or else we should drop or according to company norms, will there be a dropping of those data after some interval of time?
See, right now I have created a new database, right?
Yes, sir.
But generally what will happen, so we will have only one database in real time, okay, which is a main database. So what we will do is, whatever data we are getting from the Excel files, okay, we will completely cleanse it in the SSIS level itself, okay, and we'll only push the required data into the tables, and in the table level will not truncate anything, because it's called it as an incremental loading, because incremental loading means every day the data will go and sits into the tables. Okay, it is not something like truncate. No one will truncate it actually, because my table should maintain the historical information. Historic means yesterday's, day before yesterday, 1 week back, 10 months or 10 years back data. Okay, likewise it should be. So nobody will go and truncate any databases or tables whenever they're processing the ETLs. It's always like incremental loading.
Okay, sir, as you said that incremental loading only happens when it comes when these information, that this data information is very critical and business critical and what is important to us, right, sir? Then if I'm working for a project where this data is not so important, just for this their analysis sake, for example, how many washing machine has sold, how many refrigerator has sold, for those analysis, if they are using those data, then what will they do with this data, sir? Whether they will keep it for some
Whether
time?
it is important or unimportant, that is fine. Okay, now, but still we will maintain that data. Okay, so in the tables, because maybe in the future they'll come back and ask. So that point of time, we cannot put again that Excel files and we cannot run the ETLs, because see, now the ETL process is very simple because there is a less amount of data. If there are lakhs of rows, and if your ETLs are taking 3 to 4 hours to process, okay, so in the future case, if at all they need that data, I cannot wait for 4 hours to bring it. No? So if it is already present in the tables, I can just read it by writing a select query. Okay.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter whether it is important or unimportant. Okay. But actually will saves the data. Okay. For longer period always.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? No. Okay, fine. So try with this flat file. Okay. And if you get any kind of errors or issues, you let me know. Yeah. And you try with that varchar of, the truncation issues also. Okay. You try to put more characters and use varchar of 10, 20 something and redirect that rows. So here also we have an option to redirect. Okay. Both in conversions as well as the truncation also. So what you can do. So while configuring, right? Let's say there is a truncation fail. Even there is a truncation fail issue, I just need to redirect the rows. So in such a case, redirect row. Okay. So in the truncation level and click on apply. Okay. So if there is a truncation errors or comes, then that row will also get sent it into the error file, guys. Okay. These things you can try from your end. Okay. Yeah. Next. Yeah. So you need to do some test cases. Okay, I'll tell you what are those. Okay. So you create a package and make it success first of all. Okay, this package is successful, correct? Now, what you need to do is you need to take a backup of this. Backup means just copy paste. Okay, just copy paste and open the backup file. Okay, open the backup file. Now you need to do some test cases here. So let me give you an example and let me open the source connection file where exactly it got stored. So it is stored over here. No, what I will do, let's copy this and put it in a test case. Let's say one more folder, copy and paste here. Now what you can do in this file, open it. See, first time it got success, no issues, nothing. Okay. Now later on, now let's assume that when I'm executing first time, my client plays at the proper file and there is no issues for me. Tomorrow, whenever he is placing the file, he mentioned the same, proper sheet name and the file name, everything is fine, even data also. But he might forgot to, mention the first column name. All the other column names are fine, but there is a chance, right? They might have missed a column name. Now they have missed it. And they had send me this file to me and I'm trying to load it. Let's see. I'm just trying to start and let's see. Can you see what is happening? So it has been failed, correct? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what is the reason it is failed?
Because of the already data type, it is not matched with.
Yeah. So the thing is, so here it is expecting a column for mapping, correct? Order ID. Yes or no? But from the source level, are you getting that column?
No.
No, right? So obviously it will fail. Okay. So from the first column, it is giving as a null actually instead of order ID column. So my source is giving null, but so even in the data conversion also it is expecting a order ID column. And even in the mapping also it is expecting the same column. So that's the reason it got failed, guys. So it means what? So whenever we are having a discussions initially with our clients, so we should tell them like, so boss, like these headers should not change at any point of time. Okay. Because if something will change, that is a change request. It is called as a CR. And if there is a change, so again we need to rebuild the package. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If there is a change in column name, or if they are removing that, so we should ask, whether this is correct or the previous file is correct. So if they're saying that no, you should consider from now onwards whatever I am giving. So in such a case, right? So definitely it comes under CR, nothing but change request. So we need to go and change again in the package level, and you need to redeploy it. Okay. So my point over here is there might be a change in the file name, sheet name, or header names. Yeah. And they might give a new column names. In such scenarios, you need to, assume these scenarios and try it. What exactly will happen? Okay. So I'll give you those scenarios. You can try from your end. But whatever scenario you are trying, right? You should make sure before that your package is running fine. Package kachidanga success lo undala. Okay. Now on top of it only, you need to try this errors. Okay. Use test cases. You understand?
Sure.
Okay. So you write down what test cases you need to do. So first test case is, you need to tell me the exact error also. Okay. For each test case. First, on top of the success package, remove the column names in the source files and run the package. On top of the success package, you take the backup and try it. Okay. Don't do it in the original one. You take the 10 backup files and do one test case on top of each, each package. Yeah. So on top of success package, go to source files and remove the column names and run the package. Okay. Then you can see what will happen and write down that error. Okay. Because these kind of errors, you'll get it in the real time also. Next,
so on top of success package, go to source file and remove the column.
Remove the column names and run the package. And see what kind of error message you will get. Okay. Next one. So I am not going to tell again success package on top of success package. So you should do every test case on top of success, because what will happen if you do a if you do a test case on top of this failure package, what will happen? It will show you the previous error only, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's right. Okay. So you need to do it on success package always. Yeah. Second test case intente, rename the file name and run the package. Will it run?
No.
Sorry. Rename the file name and run the package. And initially they had given, let's say, orders. Later on, they're saying order. Okay. The file name has been changed, no? So, but my SSIS package is expecting orders file. So whereas they have changed it to order. In such a case, definitely it will fail, right? So you should tell me what kind of error message we know that it will definitely fail, but what kind of error message it will give us, you need to know. Because these are all very important in the interview. They'll ask, like, when you're dealing with Excel, tell me what kind of issues you faced. Okay, these issues you can tell them. Yeah, next. Rename the sheet name and then run the package. Ipudu sheet name, let's say sheet 1 icharu. Tomorrow they have changed it to sheet 2. Will it run? No, right? Because if you go to Excel, so we just say it as orders. But if they're giving in sheet 2, definitely we need to again change that, right? Okay, now, but SSIS anedi, once you build it, we cannot sit and keep the changes in these packages. Okay. because once we automate, so we need to tell them like everything should be same, like file name, location, and then file sheet name, all column names, all these things should be same at any point of time. Rename the sheet name and run. Next, change the file path location. Change the file path location and run the package. So which means, you see the file is over here. You just cut this file and put it in somewhere else and run the package and see what will happen. Change the location of source file and run the package. Okay. Next, change the database column data type. And once you build the package, so maybe someone can change the data type also, right? In between. So in such scenarios, what will happen to my package? We should see. Change the database table column data type and run the package.
Once again, repeat it.
Yeah. Change the database table column data type. And run the package.
Sir, we need to run it later. We need to go to database and change the data type, and again we need to run it.
First, you need to make it success first. Okay.
Okay.
Then later you go and run. You go and change the data type of your database table. Okay. Any column and run it again. Let's say it is integer. You try to make it some float, or maybe it is a varchar. Try to make it is integer and see what will happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, in the source file, add a new column and run the package. In source file, add a new column and run the package. Next, remove the existing column in a source file and run the package. Next test case.
So remove the existing column
and run the package. Remove the existing column from source file actually, okay, and run the package. Okay. Next, remove the complete headers in the source file. Only headers, data should be there. remove the complete headers. Remove the complete headers from source file and run the package. So you try with these test cases and you write down the errors as well. What kind of errors you yeah. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards, once you done these test cases as well as multiple delimiter files, okay, so you will be familiar, okay, how to read the data from different sources to the destination. From tomorrow onwards, I'll take out this one by one, transformations, and I'll tell you what is the usage of each and every one. Yeah. Okay, so just do this practice so that it will be easy actually to know the purpose of each transformation. And write down the notes, okay? So it's very easy, okay? So navigations are very easy. So for transformations, if it is a very difficult transformation, I'll tell you the notes and I dictate it. Otherwise, you need to write it if it is a very simple. Okay, okay, then bye.